Hey everyone, and welcome back to another live stream review. This is a review of Once Upon a Time Season 6, Episode 13, Ill-Boding Patterns, a episode that focused on Rumpelstiltskin in the past and Robin Hood and the evil Queen and Zelena in the present. I'm Rob. I'm with Joe. How's it going?
Boys, girls, all my almost out there. Welcome back to the Robert. Good. All right, let's just get into it. I loved the flashbacks more than the present.
Yeah, I it's funny. I actually kind of liked. I enjoyed it. I appreciate it more after I thought about it when it ended. Because I'm like, oh, it's Beowulf. It's an English myth that could be possibly mythology, or it's mythology based. I'm like, oh, they really screw up that type of stuff, and they didn't screw it up. I enjoyed it, and I even enjoyed like seeing young Bay. I like when Robert Carlyle gets to be evil Rumple, or the Golden Rumple. I enjoy that.
Yeah, he wasn't even really evil because this was before the dark magic really consumed him at that point. So he was still kind of on the border, and we see him not wanting to really go there. That's interesting to me, right? That's the more interesting parts of Rumpelstiltskin, because over the years of Rumpelstiltskin, it's been a roller coaster, So moments like this is when I think the character really shines, and to have that be the focus of really the episode, but especially the flashbacks, and to have Beowulf as kind of the catalyst for where the story goes, I thought it was a fantastic idea.
So I did too. I really liked it. I really liked that he used that potion twice, like how it was in the past and in the present, and obviously it worked in one but not the other.
Yeah.
And I for some reason, this particular part of the season, I've been on board with Rumpelstiltskin and Mr. Gold's stories. For a while, I wasn't. We've discussed this, but I liked it. I really have been enjoying him. So yeah, I like the flashbacks. The end of the episode, I laughed a lot though. Like I laughed a lot at the end of the episode.
With the proposal?
No, the proposal was amazing. I love the proposal. The proposal was great. I laughed when the evil queen came back.
Oh yeah, no, thank you. Please.
And Robin Hood is shocked that there's two of them.
I mean, we said this last half of the season, right? We had said no, the evil queen is staying, just the villain for the first half, and the people on the show were saying she'll be around all season, and well, we were wrong, right? I mean, I feel like this is a way to get her in. I guarantee you next week is probably going to be the end of it, because they're advertising the final battle between
like a fight between the two of them, so it seems like it's kind of done.
This was literally the way just to stretch her into the second half of the season. So that way they go like, oh, we had a villain for whole season.
She was in both arcs or both sides. We went back to season 1 and season 2 vibes. No, it's still two different stories.
You had just mentioned the memory potion, and that made me think of Sleeping Curse. We're a few episodes into the second half of season 6, and we have yet to see a Sleeping Curse.
Whereas Snow White and Prince Charming are afflicted with the sleeping curse.
Oh, okay. Technically right. Okay, so technically there is still a sleeping curse going on.
There's an overlying sleeping
curse. There's a season long. That's the thing with season 6.
It's
2 arcs.
Aggressive.
One long sleeping curse.
Yeah.
But getting back to the episode, what do you think with Beowulf? I said I thought that was a fantastic idea to tie in his story into Rumpel's. But what do you think?
Well, I read the play, and then I also saw the awful movie, though I liked the movie, and I thought it was going to be totally different, and I ended up liking the direction they went in with him as him, like Rumpel. He became the Dark One to stop the Ogre Wars, and then he kind of stole Beowulf's thunder, and Beowulf wasn't too happy about that his thunder was stolen, and then he tries to blackmail Rumpelstiltskin, and Rumpel is really trying to be good, and I like the way it blended here. Though I thought it was funny that the way that the writers of this episode decided to take Grendel as to be Beowulf, like how he is Grendel because it's made up.
See, I loved that twist. I mean, we were talking.
No, I was talking to you. At first I didn't like it. Then I thought, oh, it's kind of cool that instead we don't have to see a CGI monster and then go, oh, well, that kind of sucked. with the visuals.
Yeah, because Grendel, I was expecting some kind of maybe big ogre with their CGI or something, right? But I was looking forward to seeing kind of the threat that Grendel was going to be. But having Beowulf as Grendel in this episode made so much sense for the story that they were telling. And it was a twist that I don't think a lot of us would have necessarily seen in the beginning of the episode.
No, I definitely didn't see it coming at all. I was expecting it to be a monster that Rumpel would have to fight. I actually at one point thought, oh, maybe he'll team up with Beowulf. But
yeah, exactly. I thought we were going to have a good heroic moment there for Rumpel, but it obviously got kind of dark
a little bit
with Balefire. But
I thought it was interesting that Balefire wanted him to use the dark magic because he was just kind of mad. He was just a mad little kid. But I thought it was really funny because they always really made the character seem very anti-magic, and then here he's very much on board with it.
Yeah, because he started to dabble into it and consume them there. But I mean, we talk about the at least in my opinion the better parts of the episode with the flashbacks. What do you think of the present day?
Oh, hold on. Well, before I did enjoy the flashbacks as it tied into Rumpelstiltskin's story, though I would say this season I really feel has been going all over the place. I would have appreciated this storyline a long time ago. Like, I don't think I needed it 6 years later. I think maybe a couple seasons.
The flashback storyline?
The flashback storyline. I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I just think airing it now was weird. Like, I get how it's like fitting into Gideon and whatnot, but I would have liked to have had this empathy towards Rumpelstiltskin a long time ago.
You see, I think it served its purpose, right? I mean,
well, of course it did. I just would have liked to have known about it, sooner.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see that. However, at this point in the game, I like to see when they kind of bring in these old-time characters that you don't necessarily think of, but that work perfectly with the show. And I think Beowulf is one of those characters who works perfectly in the show, who I never really thought about before. So for them to pull out this character in season 6, I think it's fairly admirable for them to do at this point, to still kind of present these characters that are a perfect fit so late in the game.
I can agree with that. I guess I wanted to see it sooner than later, but I still liked it. So it was very good. Since we're transitioning into the present, and we already briefly talked about Robin Hood, Danielle Masella said, Robin said, I don't care if there's 7 of you, when the evil queen was talking to introduce himself to her. I was like, that's a total nod to Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. And I actually laughed at that.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I caught it right away. I was like, they're being self-referential. I like that. That was funny. So I enjoyed that.
There were 101 of you, and you were all Dalmatians.
That I might have fallen out of my chair if I had heard that one. The seven I laughed at, but I think 101 would have been just as funny. I did enjoy that. All right, so present day. So well, guys, the blue fairy is in a coma, sort of, kind of. Her magic soul's in a sword. What you guys? I'm really curious what everyone in the comments. What do you guys have to say about the blue fairy being sucked into a sword to? Well, she was killed by Rumpelstiltskin finally.
If any character on this show that they always talked about happy endings. If any character deserves a happy ending at this point, it's the blue fairy.
The blue fairy.
Everything she goes through. I mean,
she died in season 3. She had a lie about the wardrobe in season 1.
She is a punching bag.
Yeah, she never. Punching bag. She gets impersonated, and then she gets impersonated in season 2 by Cora. Like I said, she died in season 3. I mean, she gets completely ignored in later episodes, and then she dies here, or sort of dies. She can come back.
She always sort of dies. I feel like with season 3, a lot of people kind of thought she was.
Well, her shadow was pulled out of her body, and then they're like, "Oh, you're dead." Oh no, well, you're not. You're dead. You're alive now.
It's just funny at this point. It's like, oh no, anyone.
I just find it funny. I just find it really funny that they're like, well, she's our punching bag. So Rumpel was always about protecting his kid. He's really into protecting his kid, and he did it here. He did it here in like an interesting way that Belle's supportive of him too. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with it, but I am glad that he's staying on the side of good.
We were talking about this. It made good sense for him to want to prevent his son from going kind of that extra over that line, right? However, they were kind of celebrating at a time when Blue Fairy just kind of,
Yeah, they're like, Blue is a little knocked out right now, to put it lightly.
She's laying there and they're kind of celebrating, and it's just kind of unwarranted. But
no one cares.
It makes sense, and that was good for Rumple, and it's good to see that Gideon, in a way, is kind of bringing these characters closer than they've been since flashbacks, maybe.
Essentially, yeah. I mean, the two of them haven't had any good bonding in a long time, so I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was. I thought it was a little weird, but at the same time, I like that they're reconciling a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we have two more things to discuss. We have evil Robin Hood, and Zelena, along with him, Zelena and Regina. He's not really evil though. He just kind of wants to leave town. I'm like, you're from a land where you could like rob people and like never get in trouble, even though there were probably consequences. Now you want to go to New York and you'll get in jail and die. Like, it's just nothing's good's gonna happen to you.
See, I thought it was an interesting turn they took there.
Well, he doesn't want to live up to the Regina standards that there is.
The way they ended it is essentially like he's sort of the doppelganger he's the counterpart to the evil Regina. Because Regina had Robin Hood, and then Regina also has her evil side. So this is essentially the evil side of Robin, right?
He's not even evil though. He just wants to not be. He wants to he doesn't want to be reformed. He wants to go steal and live a fun life. Like, he's not even evil.
The way they're positioning him though, because now he's going to be with the evil queen and everything.
Yeah.
He's being positioned as sort of on the side of evil. And I think that makes so much sense to have Regina and the evil queen, and then good Robin, and then kind of his evil. I think that's a good idea because Regina wanted it for her and everything, and it turns out it's for the other half of her. I thought that was kind of just
actually, I didn't think of it like that. That's funny. I'm really curious actually to see, because next week they're really hyping it up to be the final battle between the two of them, where they're going to go with them. And also, he teamed up with Zelena for a little bit, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was.
I liked it though.
Zelena do something besides,
Yes, that's why I liked it. I don't. I liked it because Rebecca Mader, who I think is one of the better of the actresses on the show, finally gets to act for a little bit. Like, she gets to be in scenes. So it was fun. I just saw a comment. I don't know who said it. It might have already scrolled by. But it was about, what do you guys think about the reconciliation between Regina and Zelena, at least at the end of the episode? I was happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like next week it's going to be back to argue. There's
like them hating each other again.
Yeah, with them, you can't just make any progress at this point. It's just it's so inconsistent, and so we should.
Yeah, it's very sloppy.
Back. So
I don't know. I was like, well, at least they were being honest with each other for the moments. So I enjoy it. I was happy that they had their moments. And then I think the biggest moment of this episode is the proposal for all the Emma and Captain Hook fans, and obviously him mulling over the murder of David's dad.
Yeah, it's one of those annoying parts, right, where we know the story is going to be made into something bigger when it comes to the whole him and David's dad thing, and it's just, at this point, right, after everything they've gone through, and we see that Hook was trying to do the right thing. However, at this point, after everything, you're still just not going to say it, right? I mean, you got, as characters, you've gone through so much. Especially Hook has evolved so much, right? And he's still gonna kind of keep it a secret, even though he was trying to say it. He still didn't, right? No. So it's just still kind of sigh-worthy. They're gonna be like saying "I do" or whatever, and he's gonna before he says "I do," he's gonna be like, "I have to tell you one thing" or something like that. And it's just gonna be like,
yeah, we need a sidebar during the wedding. Oh yeah, by the way, I killed your grandfather. What?
It's just, it's gonna come out and it's just gonna be a whole thing, and be at probably a couple episodes and just be an annoying little twist. Probably have him second guess a marriage. It's kind of just a knot in the story that we don't need at this point.
Yeah, I thought about that too when it ended last week. That they definitely don't need to have a pickle in their engagement, but whatever. It is what it is. But they got married. The Evil Queen is back, and next week it looks like one of them's gonna go. My money's on the Evil Queen.
As much as I like Hook, I really do like Hook, and I liked him in this episode. The episode I felt like was so refreshing without having.
Well, it did like a little. I don't want to say it did it 100%, but it did like a little Walking Dead thing where it was like, we'll just pull out, we'll pull out like the characters that really have no impact, give them a little thing, just in case, and then go from there.
Yeah, it took away kind of the main characters and kind of just focused on someone's not calling Regina not a main character. You know what I mean?
No, she is. But like, Carol on The Walking Dead, we know is a main character, but like she hasn't been in every episode of the season, so they just did the same thing there. I mean, we both aren't fans of Jared Gilmore, but he wasn't in this episode at all,
which was fantastic in its.
Yeah, like it was great.
Yeah.
So, I like it's an ensemble cast show, like many TV shows are now, and so to have it, to have it focused, trim the fat, I should say, is good. I guess like premieres everyone, then you trim it down as you go along.
Right.
And then have like little storylines. And if you need someone there because there's a cliffhanger from the previous episode, you continue that story. But we're not writers, so
right.
Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen there? But anyway, I like the episode a lot. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to say about it, or do you think we're done here?
No, I think we're pretty much done.
Yeah, I liked it. Honestly, as someone who's always kind of been on the opposite end of the spectrum with Rumpelstiltskin for a long time, at least in the present, I enjoyed him in the present. I enjoyed him in the past. I liked Gideon quite a bit here, and I'm looking forward to next week a lot to see this intense battle between the two of them. So I think this part of the season is on to a better start than the end of last season.
Absolutely.
Or the end of not end of last season. What do we call it again? 6A.
6A.
6A. Yeah, I think 6A was weak in comparison to this, but this has been good. Anyway, thank you guys. Thank you all for tuning in. If you have any additional questions, just send them off in the comments or to Twitter, Facebook page, whatever, and I will take care of them and we will discuss more. But thank you for talking to us during this chat, and we will see you all next Sunday around 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Bye, guys.